Hey everybody, welcome to Leon's Chainsaw Parts and Repair. We're going at Marc's Super XL-925. This is a 1981 model. Sent it to me in partial pieces. Ignition needed repaired. Video before this would kind of follow the little mad journey to getting that working. And then also discovering the missing wrist pin retainer and reversed piston. Yeah, there was some interesting stuff on this. So anyway, we're ready to do a start on it. One other thing, that video I mentioned in there that I thought the flywheel side crank seal was leaking. I reset the carb after going through it, and I'm absolutely certain that was leaking now. This high-speed jet was open over a turn, which on a governed carb is odd, and we were at about 3 turns on the low setting. I put it back to that, but I have a feeling we're going to need to lean it out. So let's get this thing running, do a little bit of tuning, and then we'll talk about that governed carb a little bit. Come on, baby. I know it's a cold morning, but damn. I'm seeing a lot of fuel there. It acts like it flooded. Ah! Maybe I'm wrong. I think there's enough fuel in there, but I'll put a little more in. Okay. No question about that now. Okay. That's irritating beyond belief. There is something still jacked up in this carb, despite a full carb kit and a pressure test. That is annoying beyond belief. At least I sure think there's something wrong. I'll show you why. Tell you, some saws are just a freaking fight. all of that fuel that's puddled in there. That's not right. There's no earthly reason for that to be happening. None whatsoever. I don't know what's leaking, but I could see it just blast there. So we're still not done. Okay, that's better. So what it turned out to be was the fuel inlet arm was actually binding on the little axle. So replaced that, got it adjusted again, and here we are. So that's why there's a spitback filter here. Under full throttle, or close to full throttle, it's normal to get a little bit. But if you just see fuel running back to the back of the carb chamber, something's gone wrong. And that's what it had done. Had stuck in the open position, and what's funny is it shut itself down, or it closed off, and initially when I pressure tested it, it built all the way up to 25 psi, and then all of a sudden I hear poof, and it released, and it stayed open that time. I couldn't repressurize it. So anyway, got that taken care of. Good enough. There'll be a credit coming back for a few things that Marc purchased, like the fuel hose kit that I sell. The factory Homelite hoses are still pliable and not rotten, so I left them in place. I'm not going to pretend that Tygon is better than an OEM Homelite hose, because it's not. Yeah, I think it's better than the reproduction hoses that are out there, but these are in great shape, so I left that alone. Yeah, so I wanted to talk about carburetor tuning just a little bit. You guys saw at what was basically full throttle, there was a decent little bit of smoke, and it wasn't, just wrapping out. Well, again, it's a governed carb, so I get this quite a bit, especially from guys that are working on a little Super 2 that has just a low speed adjustment. They had that 4 or 5 year span where those little Walbro HDCs only, they had a fixed high-speed jet. They did not have an adjustment on it. So on a bench like this with no load, a governed carb is actually going to sound like crap when you rev it up. You're going to go, wow, this thing is just not tuned right. And I could sit here and close this high speed all the way, and it would still do it on the bench, no load. Put a bar on it, get it in the cut, and that's a different story. That's, this governor is designed so that you can't burn the saw up unless you're a complete inexperienced operator or something mechanically fails. It won't let you turn this off and starve the engine for fuel. Now, if you forget to put oil in there, you'll still burn it up. But again, that's just a complete inexperienced operator there. But anyhow, that's why, especially on a 925, a little Super 2, any of these saws that have that governor set up on there, don't rely on the bench tuning. You really got to put a bar on it, get it in the cut to tune this trim, and that's really what they call it at that point. Is you're just kind of doing a minor trim adjustment so that you've got the maximum power in what you're cutting. And again, you still don't want to push it. You want to leave a little bit there. So anyhow, that's enough of my gums flapping. Mark, I'm going to get the rest of this. I need to still clean that air filter, but get this put back together. I want to let it sit for a couple days, like I do with all the saws that I repair. Just make sure that there's no little gremlins that I haven't missed, and yeah, we'll be talking about getting this back to you real soon.